something to be said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, none can contest, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never been a squad as raw as trash can spit. You might get bashed with a stick while I'm pounding the fence. Look around, you're a fish while I'm rounding it quick. Take a look at the base and sprint off with a fist in your face. No remorse, no mercy, no force can hurt me. The scouts purposely bring the pain, come try to work me. But there's a crew of dirty cats.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to the Glue Guys program. Coming to you live. Or Brent Musburger. You are looking live. All those college football games. Anyway, episode 39.
Bang, bang.
We took an unscheduled 2-week vacation, which I gotta be honest, not upset about it. Not upset about it at all.
No. Yeah.
I certainly needed a break. You had some stuff going on that I think it helped out time-wise to get in. Obviously, you can see new locale for my partner here. He's getting set up. That's congrats on that.
Might as well go ahead and use that as a segue into one of our advertisers, right?
Yeah. So you consulted,
yes,
and then chose to employ.
Yes.
Our buddy Mickey Czar helped you purchase your new home there. A painstaking process, as I got to hear some of it as you went through it.
Yeah, that's because underwriters are dipshits and dickheads all at the same time.
Well, I was gonna say a couple false starts there. So
well, I mean, okay, look. So I'm gonna borrow some time of the show for once about some shit. Because it also, of course, is about one of our.
Look at that pulling out a bat while. Okay,
yeah.
all right,
Hey,
all right.
Hey, bro. Look, I'm gonna segue real quick because I'm ADHD as fuck. Look. This is a tripping from Monster. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been waiting for a U-Trip Monster for like a good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And so once I had the opportunity to purchase one within the price range that I'm cheaply willing to do, jump the fuck on it. Anyway, so I'm going to shout out the czar of real estate, Mickey Czar. Obviously, me and my wife were trying to find ourselves a new property to live in because we had been renting for a while and our landlords were jackasses. So if anybody wants to cry me a river about all this fucking landlords have feelings too, fuck you and fuck them. So we got hit with a notification, about a month before our new lease was going to be due, that they were raising the rent by $700. We've lived in the same house. We've rented it for 6 years. We have watched them not fix a goddamn thing, not do a goddamn thing, not help with a goddamn thing, not be responsive for a goddamn thing. And every single year they were raising the rent. And this year they raised it $700. My wife and I have been wanting to get the fuck out of the house for a while. We finally had some reason to do so. So we'd already been kind of planning and working at it. But when we got that notice, it was like, nah, that's it. So we reached out to Czar Real Estate, Mickey Czar. I'm going to say there's something he says a couple times. He says, he wants people to go out and try other realtors and whatever, see what other people think, talk to them, or et cetera. And we did that. We initially did that. We had a young lady that we were working with, a couple of years ago when we first were considering buying a house, and then we changed our mind. And then, we reached back out to her earlier in the year, like around February, when the market was still shit. And she just wasn't as responsive as we needed. She was often, kind of MIA, in days and things like that. And I consider myself and my wife to be pretty good clients because we're doing a lot of the work for ourselves. We're not going to ask you some dumb shit like, hey, where do I get a garage or some dumb shit. We're searching for the houses we want. We're looking trying to make the job easier for the realtor because again, the realtor is largely, helping you with some of the formalities and all the details that you may not be aware of. Anyway, this young lady she just wasn't responsive. There were a couple of instances where we were going to put in an offer on a house and we couldn't get a hold of her for a whole weekend. Of course, one of those instances, the house slipped by us. It worked out to our benefit because the house ended up selling for some exorbitant, ridiculous amount above ask. So once we got to the point where we had, and at that point we'd said, fuck it, we're not going to be able to do this. We're just going to wait. We're going to deal with the rent and, try it again next year. Hoping, of course, that prices went down or something happened. So again, once we got that note, we were like, fuck this can't work. So I reached out to Mickey. Obviously, I had been talking to Mickey about it, for some months. He'd been very, very helpful in providing me links and information and, and portal access and things like that. So when I reached out to him, I said, hey, we're going to need your help. We're going to need you to help us get this done. We had a good time. It was a great experience. Number one, Mickey was hella responsive, the kind of responsive that I enjoy. I know anybody who's probably listening to the show and knows me pretty well. And I'm not someone who likes to bullshit around. I like to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? And it was refreshing for, to work with Mickey because he was the same way. It was, I'd ask a question, he'd get a response, or or he'd endeavor to get the information that I needed, or if I wasn't hitting him, he was hitting me. We were, it was absolutely great. I felt bad because, we wanted to live on the west side. I'm not interested in living east of the 17. That still exists. These problems don't change. But I felt bad in some cases because we were having Mickey come all the way on the other side of town. He lives in the East Valley. And I would tell him that, I'd say, dude, nah, I don't want you having to ride back and forth and all that shit. Not on my account. He's like, nah, it's like, this is my job, dude. This is what I do. And I'm willing to do what I got to do. And I absolutely respect it. And I respected every fucking thing he did. Even I still felt bad about how far he drove. One last thing that I'll mention about it, again, I know I'm kind of glowing about, about his service and about what he did for us because it's absolutely true. I mean, I'm not paid for this statement. This is reality right here. It was also super refreshing because in the process, when we found the house we wanted, one of my daughters was so fucking excited when she saw this house, which didn't go unnoticed by me, obviously. So this was the house that I kind of wanted, and I had to convince my wife to even see it. And so once we saw it, it was great. And Mickey and we shared some unified anger at the seller of this particular house, who happens to be Open Door. We shared some anger with each other, and it was refreshing because I realized that A, I wasn't wrong, and B, he was in the same boat. He was pretty fucking pissed too. But legitimately, it was an absolutely great experience, especially for this is our first time buying a home. We've been through a lot of shit over the last 7 or 8 years since we've been together, after divorces and everything. So to get to this point was a big deal. But having Mickey help us get there and get over that hump was an absolute godsend. It was a big help to really make this happen. So anyway, I'm saying obviously thank you to Mickey, which I've told him personally a number of times or whatever. But at the same time, anybody who's out there who's really looking to purchase a house, regardless of interest rates going up and everything else, and maybe you don't do it this year, maybe you do it next year, maybe you do it when that happens. But I would absolutely recommend hitting up Mickey, even just to have a conversation, set your expectations, set what you can do, and find out some information. I think it was absolutely great. Don't pass that up. Obviously, we have other sponsors, so I don't want to take all of our sponsor time on that.
Before we jump, just so you know. And I'll get into, I got Mickey kind of my secret hideout. So I got a nice little jump off point for him on the west side. Now, I'm not going to get into details, but it's a very cheap, if not free, place for Mickey to either sleep or refresh here on the west side.
I love it.
That he took advantage of last weekend.
Hey, man.
We had the softball tournament and the golf tournament the next day. I saved him a trip back to the east side.
That reminds me, I do have to bring this up because it was kind of funny. I think it's funny, and I think some people will agree. Because Mickey, again, he lives way on the east side. I used to live and now live, on the west side. But a couple of houses we wanted to look at, we had been fighting against the idea of looking at them just because we were nervous and because it's so fucking far. But the prices were like, oh shit, that's crazy. So we were like, all right, let's go see them. It was out in Tartesso, and I'm just gonna say that Mickey drove all the way out to Tartesso to meet us to look at a couple of houses that we literally were like, yeah, fuck this. There's no fucking way we're gonna live this far. But the fact that, again, he got out there and wasn't complaining or acting like a bitch or nothing like some of these folks would do. He was enjoying it. We had a good time. He seemed like he was having a good time because we're pretty fun and we were making it fun. We weren't on some, well, I don't know if the carpet's right. We wasn't on that shit. But we got out there. We were like, yo, and I told him, I was like, dude, look, man, I'm going to tell you, I feel super bad, but there's no fucking way we're gonna live here. There's no fucking way we're gonna do this. And I feel awful that I had you drive out here. And he's like, nah, you know, it's my job. I was like, yeah, I get it. It's your job. But let me just say again, I feel like a dickhead for having driven you out this far because it's nightmarishly far. I mean, it's literally like on the border of fucking California at this point. It's really, really far. But again, he was a trooper and he literally helped us every step of the way. Even in the instances where we were making fun of sellers or making fun of houses, he was right there with us, making fun of them or, you know. So yeah, it was great. It was great.
Well, to lead us into one of our other sponsors, just to prove the point that we're pretty much the same. Marty's Trophies has had hats for me since the last tournament got canceled. All right? I was going to meet John that morning at the tournament, and obviously it didn't happen. So he's literally had a couple Glue Guys hats for me, a couple U-Trip hats I got made since then, and I haven't gotten over to the east side to get them. So I'm very similar to you in that I got to literally schedule it.
Hell yeah.
And the one day I went over, he got into work late and he didn't have the hats. So literally one day in like a month I had to get over there. So I'm the same exact way. It's like pulling teeth to get me to cross the 101 at this point.
Hell yeah, bro.
Or the 303, 17, 51. The 51 feels like, you know, the border of New Mexico to me too. So don't think that I don't sympathize with you there.
That's real shit though.
I have to be a cactus. I have to be like, trust me. It was a pleasure going to Paloma. Pleasure going to Paloma last weekend. But
that's why I could never be a director, dude.
So Marty's, Marty's is taking care of us. I got the hats. You know, the trophies are amazing. I got to play in the Challenge Cup golf fundraiser this weekend. You can see proudly displayed is another Marty's creation. I don't know if you could see in the camera. It says first place. I'm going to point it out. First place. And I'll get into that more later.
Tell him, son.
But, I mean, the design is awesome. You got the U-Trip Challenge Cup logo, the year of the team, competitive 40s. I mean, it's just, it's a, you know, obviously it's golf club, but it's just an awesome, you know, etching there that they did with it. And then, of course, it was almost destined to be, Los, because look, the orange inserts on the trophy, destined to be.
That's how it's supposed to be, goddammit.
I don't know who that is in the chat, but thank you. I'll figure that out because I still see the Facebook user, so I'll let you know. I appreciate that. I got to see John anyway, but I have to get some trophy stuff figured out for the next couple tournaments.
That was Gabe Monteverde.
Oh, good. All right, Gabe. I will get in touch with you, but I'll be talking more about this obviously because of the place that my team came into. But moving on, Marty's phenomenal. They do all our U-Trip stuff. Anything you could possibly need from bat shells to trophies. And it's not just your standard trophies. You can see, I mean, we got a golf club there. They do all kinds of different trophies and etching and laser engraving and bat shells and everything. You know, it's great, you know. And Westcott, just like your Dodgers buy their talent to win a World Series, what's wrong with me putting together a phenomenal team? Okay, I will talk about this in a minute, and I will give you the exact way that the Phil Jackson in me came out, and I was the architect to this amazing run of a team. But moving on. Speaking of bat shells, McDilly Sports, we got our custom Glue Guys one over here as I'm rearranging the room. I know it doesn't look like it, but where you can't see the camera is a lot of crap I got out trying to figure out where to put it. Because I didn't buy a house yet, so I don't have any extra room. Ew. But McDilly Sports, the shelves are the best, most durable shelves I've ever seen. Okay? Westcott, all 4 people on the winning team get a trophy. Go suck an egg.
Hey, yo,
the most durable bat shells I've ever seen. The craftsmanship that Kevin puts into these things with the set screws and the plexi and the thicker, it's incredible, man. You can't go wrong, McDilly. My boy Jason Jones got a bag. I finally sold my bag. I finally gave up the dream. I kept all the equipment in a box, but I sold the bag. He was headed out to Vegas last weekend, needed one quick, so I made a deal for him. I sent him right to Kevin McDilly Sports to get a shelf for that thing. And I think they worked that out. But anyway, Jimmy always wins, Jimmy. Except this weekend at the golf tournament. But he does still know solar, folks. It is getting a little cooler, but not cool enough for me. Look into solar. Save yourself some money. They just raised the goddamn interest rate again. You're going to need it. Trust me. Go see Jimmy. Talk to him about getting solar for your home today. Okay? Our boy Benny. L&T Automotive, look, we've said it a million times. Both of us have had work done by him. It's amazing. his attention to detail in the service and what he provides even outside of the repair. Okay, as far as, taking care of your car to the repair and then getting it washed and detailed and drop-offs and all the stuff he does extra, it beats anybody else you're going to at the same exact price. So you're going to pay the same exact price for your mechanic. You have to drop your car off. It's going to take 3 more days than they told you it was going to take. They're not going to pay for your rental. Benny's going to be straight up with you. He's going to tell you exactly when it's going to be done and give you a fair price. I've already seen it with my own 2 eyes, all right? Go talk to Benny. You need your car worked on. Obviously, and I think, it's nice at the end because I get to wax poetic about my buddy Blaze Rock over here. And it's weird because I'd say once or twice a week when I got shuffle on my Apple Music, a song comes up and then I'll text him and be like, yo, I was feeling this today. So much so, the joke of this is one time I even tried to write a small verse while texting with him.
Bars.
Bars! I got bars!
Oh, wrong camera. Whoops.
There we go, yeah. So, I'm telling you, if you haven't jumped over Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, look, go check it out, man. There are tons of music, and he doesn't just do one style.
Ayo.
All right? There's something for everybody in all the stuff that he's done. All right, show Westcott your mini. And there it is.
The keychain
The mini Blaze Rock.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mini Blaze Rock. There it is.
Sir. It can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. Yo, I got some bat stickers coming.
And nice.
Not even lying. It's all good, man.
Real
it's
quick, DT34. We leave the code up there for you Louisville fans for Dave Taylor.
Sure.
Hot Bat selling the hell out. I saw that for the Fallen. People already putting that shit on eBay for like $400. So I mean, these things sell out in like a couple hours. That's a guy I want to talk to. That's the code. It definitely works at Slugger.com. Other reports of different websites, we're not sure.
Man, I tried it at AFW last week and it didn't work.
Well, I tried it at American Music Supply today, and it didn't give me shit.
Oh,
so,
yeah, Z-Sounds didn't fucking around work there either.
I was trying.
Hey, come on.
But we always encourage you to just throw it in there just in case, because we never where Dave's gotten to, and we don't know who Dave has talked to work his discount in at places. So it's just worth it to try it. Dave's always trying to sell himself, so I'm sure one of these days it's going to hit, and you're going to see it all over the Facebook groups. But to get back real quick to this trophy that I won with a team that I asked to play at a score of minus 19, Westcott. I'm not sure if you even know what that means. It's not a math problem. It's how golf scoring works, okay? Or minus 19 million your friggin' Dodger payroll is, or the luxury tax because, we need a third baseman. Let's not bring somebody up from the farm system. We traded everyone. Let's go get the best third baseman in baseball. Or let's go get a center fielder. So it must be nice buying your team, and all the years you guys made fun of the Yankees for doing it. You're the new evil empire. I don't know if you realize this, okay? Dodgers buy ships, all right? So what's wrong if I have friends who are very good golfers? It's not like I didn't tell you this was going to happen. Since the tournament got announced, I've told anyone who will listen, I am bringing a ringer team.
Ding, ding, ding.
I said it from the get-go. Why is this suddenly a problem? I'm not real salty about the Dodgers, Westcott, because we smoked you in the 2010s, so I'm not worried about it. We stopped your progress before you got your own fucking network and had all the money in the world to buy players. So why would I be salty? You pick up Manny Ramirez, we knocked that shit off 2 years in a row. Thanks for coming to Philly to end your playoff run. Moving on. I told you I was doing this. I told you. And I went out and did exactly what I said I was going to do. How is that a problem? By the way, I made 2 eagle putts for us. So I did something. All right? I did something. Which the guys I was playing with were ridiculous. That's really all I could do. I hit a decent shot. They'd hit one better. And that's fine. I was happy to make the putts because I was starting like, man, do we even need to get out of the cart? I just leave the clubs in the bag and rah this shit like a hype man. Like Flavor Flav on any good Public Enemy song. He's really only saying like 3 or 4 words. I mean, look at Little John. He's made a career out of saying like 5 words and noises. Yeah. God bless him. God bless him. He's on an Usher song. He's on a Chainsmoker song. But it's the same sound. Like he doesn't even have to show up and he's getting paid. Respect, Little John. Respect.
God.
Especially with the alcohol connects. Nice work on your endorsement, sir. I'm very jealous. Anyway. Pencil whipping is when you don't actually shoot it. We shot a 19 under. Get over it. Or get better. How about that? Same thing we tell you softball guys when you cry. Get better. Get better. Win. Anyway, legit minus 19. And like I said, I'm telling you right up, I said I was going to do it. I was lucky enough to hit 2 putts for scores on holes, okay? Guys I was with played their balls off, period. And we all got a trophy. Sorry, Jay, that you suck at golf. I don't even think you own clubs. All right? So let's just stop right there, okay?
Wow.
I got to figure out, maybe pickleball or something. Maybe we'll try. Nah, that's too athletic. I'll stick with
Racquetball?
Bowling? I wasn't really good at bowling. I had too athletic, pickleball, racquetball. Too athletic.
Right.
Squash, same thing. But I think bowling's the next move if there is one. I got 2 more years and I can go for the senior tour. So if I can keep it going here. The other guys get excited about playing 50 softball. No, I'm getting excited about senior golf. So we'll see. Golf is boring unless you cheat. I would expect that from somebody who roots for the Dodgers. Of course, you guys don't show up to the 7th inning of a fucking baseball game. No wonder you think golf is boring. You think 4 innings is a baseball game down in Chavez. Stop it. Stop it. It's been that way for years, you fair weather. Get out of here. We show up in the 4th inning. Haha, get our Dodger dog, and then we leave by the 7th because of the traffic trying to get out of the stadium at Chavez Ravine. Get out of here. You're fake. Dodger fans, fair weather. I said it. I did say it. I'll live by it, too. Have fun, have fun this year. Have fun. It sucks because the Braves, the Mets, and, of course, my Phillies, the minute October hits, it's like the throat gets dry, and it's just... Phillies started early. They've lost like 10 of 12 now. So they started their choke job early. But there's nobody here that can run with them right now. So I don't know. The Astros over there, I don't know. We'll see. But, when you keep buying players, it's kind of tough to do. But I had a lot of fun this weekend. Mickey and Ernie and Jimmy put on a really nice golf tournament. We had a lot of fun. There's some young kids questioning scores. I think they went out and played like 3 more holes afterward with the guys that were on my team. It was a good time, man. And like I said, I don't know why everybody's acting so shocked. I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I was going to get 3 guys that were way better than me, and I was going to go win this thing. And I'm just proving the point, man. There it is, the first place trophy. So moving on, speaking of this weekend, out at Paloma for a 1-day. I got to tell you, one of the best ship games I've ever seen as a player, coach, or as a director. One of the best ones I've ever seen. I want to real quick thank Blue Point for coming out. They literally talked to Bandits and put a squad together from both teams because both were short. Special shout out to Rick Dush, who had no business being out there. It was, I think, his 50th birthday party the night before. And had no business being out there and pitched most of the day and pitched well. So special, I told him, I have a new level of respect for him. Because we can't do what we used to do when we're this old, Rick. I don't know if you figured that out after your weekend, but the recovery time keeps growing as we do those kind of things. But they put a squad together, come out and play, and I appreciate it. But they did not make it to the end. We had 2 brand new AAA teams battled out at the end. The new team Jackson put together for him, and then Adams Sandbaggers went at it. And I got to tell you, it was back and forth the whole game. Sandbaggers walked it off in the bottom of the Open. They went in down 4. Winning run, I think, was on 3rd, bases loaded, and Robert Comstock said, why mess around and put out a just hit the top of the fence home run. I'm not going to say bomb, just enough. And it was kind of fitting for the game because it was back and forth. A really good battle. And both rosters were legit for you early criers Saturday that were whispering but wouldn't come up and tell me to my face. Hence one of the reasons for this show tonight that I want to remind everybody. It's open season because it's open. We give you the link. Marlos has control. I have no control over who's on, who gets muted. It's all Los over there. So here's your opportunity to all the things you say around us. Come on and say it on the show. All right? Open season means open anything. If you want to discuss stuff, anything you want to bring up, you guys are going to talk about more softball. Here's your opportunity. Okay? We're giving you the show because we're tired of the crying. So, all right, here's your opportunity. I don't know why there's a special shout out to him, Did you get new beer koozies in? Did Modelo redo their logo? I'm just curious
T-shirts?
why he gets a shout out.
You mean the T-shirts?
Oh, is it a T-shirt?
You mean the 15-year-old worth bats that nobody fucks with? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've been sitting in somebody's garage for 15 years. No wonder.
At this point, I mean, I'm not.
But he's
lie.
not
This one, I'll take
involved.
one.
But
Hey,
he's
look,
not
I'll take one right
involved
now, bro.
anymore. Quotations, not involved anymore.
Good, man. Yo.
Anyway, yeah, so good weekend. Just a quick reminder, October 8th is the next one at SRP. I believe we have 6 or 7 teams signed up already. If it's not open on the website, I will get that fixed tonight, and we'll open it up so you can see who's coming, because when I put a team on there, they usually are coming. Don't forget, I know everybody was crying and whining. The $100 deposit is now in effect. We've had too many teams dropping out. I don't want to hear that all. Well, why are we being punished? Just please, $100 is not asking too much here for a deposit, because my whole bracket gets jacked. Yeah, we're toxic.
Yeah, oh, that's real shit. You know, hey,
Doing rapper, baby.
Tommy know it. That Batman. Look, man, I don't even know how you fix your face to put that shit out and be like, yeah, we got a team. We got 12 bats for the winning team, and then no one ever gets the bats.
So now they want to give Gabe his shout out. You know what? Let's get serious for just a sec. All kidding aside. You know,
I wish I had some sound to throw with that.
I know, like some piano, some
like
nice piano, elevator music.
Yeah.
Listen, Gabe was one of the people I know that, you know, really took a hit with COVID. I mean, ended up on the ventilator and everything, man, and it was touch and go there for a minute, and to come all the way back, all right, and his struggle, and I talked to him during that time, and how much he was struggling just to get back to feeling normal. It took him months, all right. It wasn't a cold where he felt better in a week. You know, it took him months to feel like he could breathe right again and to walk and to run. Well, let's be honest, Gabe's not a runner. But anyway, he worked very hard to get back into what we consider game shape, and for him to go out this weekend and, like I see here in the chat, just dropping base hit after base hit and probably talking some funny shit while doing it to catchers and umps alike. Gabe's one of my favorite people in this game and has always been very straight with me, and I can't say that about a lot of you. Sorry, the truth hurts. But a lot of you like to sugarcoat shit and put out 75% of what you want to say. Gabe has always been 100% with me and very honest, and I definitely appreciate that in the position I'm in. So to see him go out, win one with a team, have a great weekend, and contribute is fun. And now we got to get him pitching again. That's why Gabe and I are friends, because we're both half crazy and we still go out there with helmets on. Well, he does. I was smart and got the hell out of there. So, yeah, that's really nice to see Gabe do. But, I mean, big shout-out to Adam and the entire Sandbaggers crew. The Nucleus team's been together, I think, for a couple tournaments, but they've been tweaking here and there, the bottom end of the roster, and it all came together. They had a good showing at the tournament 2 weeks ago, and then they come out and win ours on Saturday, so they're on the upswing. I saw a lot of good things out of them. Matty Ice, my boy, pitched really well, basically on one leg, which I'm not going to get into that because he knows I'm not a fan of him running out there with, a brace that looks like the foundation of a building that he's got to wear for his patella injury, which he's coming back from. But he pitched his ass off. They sat in the king seat and took advantage of it. And then for him marching up the losers bracket, they had to beat the Blue Bandits. That's what we were calling them this weekend with the combined. Come back up through the losers bracket and get there. Jackson put together a really nice team. Leland was out there with him. Papa pitched really well. I saw, and I'm sorry I'm missing guys. I'm kind of going from memory, but they put together a really nice squad and really hung in there. And like I said, it was back and forth the whole game. Like nobody could take, and there were momentum shifts all over the place. I remember one inning, for him got their 5 pretty quick. They were pretty jacked up. And then I think the next inning, Jason Fine hit it inside the park. It was a 3-run or a grand slam. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 runs. But it grabbed the momentum right back. And it was like that the entire game, back and forth. Nobody could hold on to the momentum that they built. So fun to watch, man. I know that Johnny was playing with for him, and he almost passed out this weekend. So you got to knock that off, Mr. 50s. Slow down, Johnny K. Slow down, son. but he's okay, and I'm glad he's all right. You know, guys, be careful out there. It's not as hot, but it's still enough that you're running games all day. You got to stay hydrated, man. So just be careful. John's a warrior. You know, I think he played 2 innings, half out of it. Nobody noticed. That's how good he was at it. But we got him some water, sat him down, and he got home. So I'm happy for that. Other than that, you know, I'm thankful. It was run really smooth. We had Ricky Blue out with us this weekend, umping, and that's always a good time. And I don't really tell Ricky what to do as a director, but I had to remind him a couple times that it wasn't the kids. So, you know, he did really well. And then Marcy running my UIC, who I truly appreciate, makes my life very easy. But I've got to tell you, man, I like Paloma. I hadn't been up there yet. I like Paloma. That's nice. Close enough. You know what I mean? Nice 20 minutes. So I got to talk to Bob. We might have a couple more dates at Paloma. We'll do the SRP Paloma Victory ring. And Pioneer. Yeah, Pioneer. I swear to you, I should bring the text up. I sent Bob a text there. We're talking about dates for next year. And I went, yeah, I'd like to do Pioneer at least 7-8 months.
Look, man, I go on file at all times to say that Pioneer is the best one. Best field on the west side, period. And I would be close. I could be convinced the best in the city. I could be convinced.
Yeah. Peoria Parks and Rec Department, unmatched. Between Pioneer and now Paloma. The guys at Paloma were amazing, man. They were amazing.
Very dope to hear.
They didn't have the line set up right. Nobody told them it was a senior tournament. It was done in 10 minutes. We went over the measurements, and boom, I have my commit lines and then my run lines. And it was amazing. They were checking on us all day. So, yeah, definite shout-out to Peoria Parks and Rec, man. Chris and his crew over there at Paloma were amazing. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get there a lot more because it's only 4 fields, so we can't go nuts with teams. But, you know, and it's looking like October 8th is probably going to be a one-day. We were flirting with it, but I'm definitely going to the Eagles-Cardinals game on October 9th. Again, full disclosure, I don't really give a shit that you know that. I'm going to the game because it's here, and I'm already missing a really good tailgate party on Saturday to run the tournament, but Sunday I'm not missing the game. So sign up now because I'm going to be limiting the number, and then I will let you know. I think it's October 22nd at Victory. I'm not sure if that'll be a 1 or a 2 day yet. I'll be coming back from Philly, and I really don't know what kind of condition I'm going to be in, so that's really going to factor into that. And then I found out, I didn't even realize, thank you, Carlos Cancel, but when I go out for Worlds in Houston in November, the Eagles play that Thursday night in Houston when I fly in. So we're going to try to take care of that one too. So it might be a good year to see my Birds play other places. When I go home, they play the Cowboys on Sunday night. So it's like, I want to... So that October 9th week, all the Cardinals fans are going to be coming at me, and that's going to be fun because I'll tell you right now, if the Eagles play like they did Monday night, yeah, good luck. Good luck. And Hopkins ain't back. That's the last game he's suspended too, so I'm not real worried. Yeah, Josh Reynolds also running for him this weekend now that I saw you post, buddy. So, all right, so that was a weekend. Like I said, get signed up for October 8th, and that covers all of my announcements. Let's see if anybody accepted the open season challenge, I guess, here. What are we talking about? You're running the show now, so I don't know who's waiting, who's not waiting. I don't know. But let's see if anybody...
No one's waiting.
How did I know that? How did I know that?
Well, you know.
They whisper, but here's... Either you come on or you don't say nothing. And they never come on. They never come on. Come on. Really? Really?
Yeah,
Really?
we're kind of looking. I obviously have the control panel open and shit.
But yeah, I'm not seeing any people in there. But I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not gonna lie. I still think it's a good opportunity, and an opportunity that we'll to an extent continue to do. And whether people take up that now or take it up in the future, I think it's still an opportunity. It's a good opportunity. It's a good way to do things. At the same time, because I don't want to be. I mean, look, man, I'm in a cloud of positivity. I just think we have a great platform. I think people have the wrong impression. I think one of the wrong impressions they have is that I give a shit about their fucking opinions about what we talk about, because I don't. And I know that they bust your balls because they're friends with you or friend-like or friend adjacent with you. But I'm gonna just say
Friend
it. Like,
adjacent.
I'll say it because I'll say it. I don't give a shit about you're fucking mad because we're talking about Apex or you're mad because we're talking about MMA or some shit. I don't give a fuck. I literally sit here after the show and I tell Mark, like, dude, I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about whatever the fuck I want because you know what? Not only am I the motherfucker doing it, I'm paying for it. I don't see nobody else paying for it. I don't see nobody else helping out. Until then, you kiss my motherfucking ass otherwise. If you don't like it, don't watch. I'm dead ass about that shit. If you want to talk about anything, any topic, I'm down. I'm always down for a good discussion, especially if that discussion is respectful. I'm always down to talk about whatever it is because I think, you know, that type of communication, it opens up friendships, it opens up opportunities, it opens up, you know, even softball. But to pretend that we're supposed to sit here every week and talk about softball when half of you bastards don't talk about softball yourself, I don't want to fucking hear it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the next motherfucker that pops that shit, I'm dead ass. Like, if you don't like it, you kiss my ass. I'm not gonna play them games. I'm not gonna be fucking cordial. I'm gonna just tell you, I'm not with that shit. Because again, you know, we try to mix it up. We did a lot of shows in which we focused on softball primarily, right? And what did we? And most of the time, we were getting a lot of people hitting us up on, you know, on chat and whatever, and it'd be a bunch of complaints and shit. Now we'd get in person. We go to shows. Oof. We go to, you know, we'd go to some of the tournaments or go to games, go to events, and people were really largely positive. And those are the people that I'm interested in. I am absolutely willing to make sure that we're available, make sure that we're inviting people, you know, those types of folks who want to talk about, you know, the positive parts of softball. They want to do more than just bitch about a tournament or bitch about the rosters or something like that. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't care. Because honestly, if you're on the field, you're there to play who's in front of you. And if one motherfucker or two motherfuckers makes you lose, you're a jackass anyway. You lost, you deserved it. I don't have the same sympathies. I don't have the same sympathies. I don't have the same level of understanding that Mark does. I'm not in a position, I'm not a director. So everybody, you don't like it, fuck it, I don't care. Again, if we're here to play softball and we love softball like we claim we do, why is it so difficult for us to get information from these teams and from these players and from these coaches that are actually about softball? Mark will tell you, I mean, when we, you know, especially when we first started the show, one of the things I really wanted to do was highlight some of those tournaments and people in those tournaments that are playing well and doing all these things and really make sure that they're getting the attention that they deserve. Well, the problem is I'm not begging. I'm not going to keep asking. I'm not going to keep begging you to tell me about your team or begging you to tell us what your team is doing or what you're doing. I'm not going to do that because there are other people that enjoy the show when we're talking about everything that we're talking about. One of the things that I guess really does frustrate me, and I'm a really, really patient dude, and I know everyone in here that knows me knows that. I'm a very patient dude. The thing that annoys me is people who go, well, why aren't we talking about softball? I don't know if you stupid motherfuckers can read, but literally above my head, it says best lifestyle program in Arizona. And it says softball, MMA, video games, music, lifestyle. What that means is we're going to talk about everything that affects everybody. And every one of us who plays softball is affected by many more things than softball. But again, anybody ever wants to come to the show, wants to be on the show, wants to, you know, have a topic of their own, or they have a topic that they're interested in, I am always 100% open to it. I'm always open to, at the very least, have a conversation or discussion to determine whether it's going to work for us. What I would also offer, and, you know, again, Mark is my friend, so I can say this. Anybody thinks it's some Homer shit, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. But a lot of the grief and shit that I hear and I see, and, you know, because again, I'm so cool and low key. Most people don't even know it's me. So I'm sitting there and I'm hearing, oh, I don't want to do this. And you know what, dude, shut the fuck up. Because then I'll see the exact opposite when people are around. And that just doesn't work. I want people in Arizona. Look, I'm a homer, dude. When we go to Vegas and shit, I only want Arizona teams to win. Fuck everybody else. Everybody else can kiss my ass. When we go to New Mexico, we go wherever we go, I want Arizona teams to win. If I'm not there, I want Arizona teams to win. I'm rooting for every motherfucking one of you. I know I've been on here plenty of times talking about how much of a fan I am of, you know, BTL and different players that, you know, that were on that team, or, you know, just different players in general across the way that aren't necessarily my team or, you know, my homies or some shit like that.
Right.
But you know, it's gotten tired for me to consistently see the quote unquote joke about, oh, why are we talking about softball? Or, a bunch of complaining about, we didn't talk about this or we didn't talk about that. So again, I know I delved into some dark place there, which may not have seemed like I was being positive, but I am. And I believe that this show is a good opportunity for people to connect with softball players and recognize again that a lot of these players who put their time into playing and being on these teams and coaching and sponsoring and all that thing, there's more to it than just talking about, hey, I won a game. And that's really the approach that we've tried to take, is we want to blend all those things that we do and all those things that we enjoy, and we want to make sure that people have a reason to want to fuck with our show. It's the same reason why we're so hyped about the Challenge Cup. It isn't because Mark's the director, because again, we share the responsibility of being able to veto what the fuck we're talking about. The stances we take are not automatically Glue Guy says X. It really is something that we believe. There's nothing coming out of our mouths that we're just doing because we have to. No one is telling us what we have to do or what we have to say or what we have to be with. It's the same reason why when Mark specifically, or U-Trip, or NCS, or whoever the fuck does some shit that I don't like or I don't agree with, I say it. And I respect that from literally anyone who watches the show, anyone who comments on the show, anyone who's involved with the show. But the one thing you can bet is whatever's coming out of my mouth right now would be the exact same thing coming out of my mouth, standing in front of you, or with whoever it is. I think that's the most important part of having a level of integrity within the show. If you support us, we love you. If we support us, we appreciate it. If you watch it, if you share it, even if you're just telling somebody, hey, that ugly motherfucker needs to shave his beard, I'm good with that, because we're trying to do something a little different than just placating attention whore softball players 150% of the time. Half the time, we just want to have a good time, and we hope that you understand that's what the Glue Guys show is about.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we could sit here and just read stats off, and and there's people that do that, and that's their lane. We always want to have a place where we could pivot if we wanted to pivot. There's certain people that cry about the MMA shit. Well, guess what? As many of you that cry about that, there's guys that message me, go, hey,
love it.
That was cool that you talked about. When I was talking about way back Usman being pound for pound, I got like 2-3 messages like, oh, I don't know, or no, Volkanovski. I was like, bro, are you watching the fight? So it started side conversations in DMs and texting, all based off of that, which listen, whether you like it or you don't like it, look, turn the show off, or I'll start putting, from 7 minutes to 35, it's UFC, so, you don't have to watch, but when we get into the subject, we do it because, some of the best conversations never even made it to air. They're ones that Marlos and I have had on the phone.
Right.
And if we get into a discussion or we get into a huge disagreement about a fighter or a football team or a softball team or just something, like, we don't just go, yeah, whatever. Like, we try to bring that here because we don't always agree. And my being a director is a side thing. We've tried from the get-go to say, at the end of the day, what's right is right, and that trumps whoever I work for. And it always has, and I've come on here and I've been mad about certain decisions that have been made above me at National or whatever, and I'll say it straight out. And, the one thing that I keep hearing when I do get approached about the show, which I appreciate, and it's funny because I hear more from the young guys who I don't even know them, but they know me from the show, about being real and keeping it 100, and I'm sure there's more sayings that I don't know about.
You just sounded super old right there.
I meant to. That was the point. That was the exact point of how I said it. Just that's the greatest compliment that I could be paid. If I make somebody laugh or giggle like that, that's it for me. I mean, because listen, I think I'm funny, but I'm not go do a half-hour set funny or go do 10 minutes funny. Like, no. Hey, I'm not ready to go try stand-up comp. No. So I understand the difference. I often think anybody from the East Coast, getting your balls broken, you kind of, it's to survive. You got to get a thick skin. So, but
there's a difference though.
The show was an extension just to try to promote some shit and to give people a platform to not just talk about softball. Because, look, I'm going to say this, and maybe I'm alienating my clientele, but I really don't give a shit. You need to have interests outside of fucking softball. You can't talk about softball all week. Drama and 4 nights at league and then the tournament. And then, look, you got to go do some other shit, man. You got... Those are the people that are the problem. Because there's nothing else to talk about. So the drama comes into it. Get a hobby, man.
I'll tell you,
get away from it. You'll come back better.
It makes
Trust me.
For me personally, and I guess I'll be less combative about this when I say one of the things that made me kind of informed me in how to approach this show was, I used to play a lot every like 3-4 times a month or whatever in tournaments where I never played league, but I play all these tournaments and everything, and I was going to hit all this stuff.
Hey, but guys got to get their champ pictures up, bro. They got to get there. We won league again. Well, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit. Go ahead.
At least for me, I had a period of time, of course, when I got in the accident on my bike where I couldn't play.
Right.
And I couldn't go to BP every couple days, and I couldn't go hang out with the homies, at the field and all that. And then I tried to do so, even though I shouldn't have, and so it helped me to understand that, I can still be involved with softball and the softball folks that I'm friends with, or the people that I know and that I appreciate, and not necessarily only talk about softball and only be about softball. And I feel like that's one of the things that I try to bring to the show without it being heavy-handed. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I learned this because I fucked it up and I got a fucking hole in my leg. I don't want to do that. But what I want to do is, what I've learned and what I was able to, endure and go through and get to, I want to be able to bring that to, to change something that I'm involved with. See here, for example, I obviously didn't know that, that Gabe went through what he was going through. But if this show was a different type of show, I wouldn't know that. I would have a different, I wouldn't have the same level of understanding or appreciation of what he's went through to get back on the field. And that's exactly what we're trying to point out, is that all of these things are still extensions of the field that we play on and the sport that we play and the people that we play with. Like, I mean, for what it's worth, one of these days we're going to have another show where we're just going to stream fucking Apex. And the thing that we do is we're still talking about the same stuff. We're still talking about softball. We're still talking about whatever we can. We just happen to be doing it while playing a video game, and that's what we usually do anyway. Even when we're playing, because we're not like mopping people up or no shit. We're
not playing Madden, so don't even message me. That piece of shit game hasn't changed in 12 years. We're doing
it's so painful. I remember I did a show with it was a Madden competition, a Madden tournament, basically. As a part of a show called All Madden in Due Time. It was supposed to market an album that I had dropped. It was called All Things in Due Time. EA sent us a bunch of copies of the game and everything. It was fucking great. And then I can't remember any of the games being worth a shit after that. And I used to be a religious Madden motherfucker, dude. I was working somewhere, and I would actually take my fucking PS4 to work and play fucking Madden on lunch and shit like that. So I used to be really, really into it, and then it just failed me. And now I can't even be bothered to purchase it until it drops to $10 after the week of the Super Bowl.
Right.
And then even then I buy it and I get pissed.
Yeah,
even then I buy it. I'm like $10. I'm like, you motherfuckers! How the fuck
last year's was the first one I got in probably 5-6 years, and I think I got it for $20, and I was like, ugh. But I got coming up second week October. I got 3 games I'm looking at. The new PGA, Tiger Woods, all over that.
Yep.
I got NHL. That's me. I don't expect.
Okay, yeah, I'm not.
But then I don't know, man. This Modern Warfare. I'm seeing things on that beta.
I'm not.
It's looking all right.
On that. I got that motherfucker. I got that motherfucker pre-ordered, and I don't pre-order shit.
So I'm a little. I never thought I'd say this. I'm a little excited about this Modern Warfare, and Warzone 2.0 does not look bad. The map looks cool. It might be too big, but hey, we'll see. But Modern Warfare, I'm in. The gunsmiths look cool. So that's 3 brand new games, and I barely got enough time to play Apex with you. So I gotta work on some time management. But I will warn the audience. Los and I have been trying this Z League shit where we get in tournaments.
Yeah.
All right, and we just squeaked into one little tournament the other night into a bigger one Saturday. So the Apex is coming whether you like it or not. We may have to practice.
We ain't even we ain't even that good at it. We're not. Hold on. It's not even like we up here talking about, we're pros, we're killing it, we're streamers, my dude. Nah, we're trash, and that's all right.
That's the point of us broadcasting it, is because we're not like professional shit. I mod for a professional streamer. All right,
yeah,
he does it professionally. We are not that, and we want to highlight the fact that we are not that. Again, it's
That's what
another
makes it
extension
fun.
of us.
That's what makes it fun. Yeah.
It's our show. It's
Yeah.
not our show about softball or our show about MMA. It's our show. And if something catches our fancy, whether it be a sport or something in pop culture, or my God, how do the Kardashians still get fucking shows on different networks? Any one of those things, you know, we're going to jump on it. You know, it's a funny meme, you know, because I'm old and I don't see them until they're already played out. And I'm like, hey, did you see that? Yeah, that was 3 months ago. That shit's funny. We're going to bring that up.
Right.
You know, so, you know, like I said, keeping it 100. You know, being the old guy, I'm gonna have some fun with that. You know, I'm holding on to the 90s and the 2000s as long as I can. You know, bringing up shows and so whatever catches our fancy, we're going to talk about. Something crazy happens in the sports world, you're probably going to hear about it, you know. I mean, we took 2 weeks off. I couldn't even give Nate Diaz his flowers. You know, he's going to go start a promotion now, and he choked out Tony Ferguson. Peace out. You know, and we got a lot of big fights coming up in the next couple weeks and months. I mean, the rest of the year is just insane.
Yes.
So, I mean, Habib today said Oliveira's not even going to show up, and that, you know, they're going to put Benny DeRouche in there. Like, Habib, either fight or shut the fuck up.
Mike.
All right?
God, bro.
Like, dude, you were great. Hall of Fame. But, all right, now shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you're still good enough to jump in there. So stop running your mouth unless you intend on getting back in the cage.
But he keeps dropping these fucking retarded takes. That's my problem. Like, homie keeps going, yeah, such and such is trash and whatever. Like, dude, go over there and sit the fuck down. You're a great fighter, but I need you to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down because you're throwing out ridiculous shit.
You know, for
like,
somebody who
he's
talked
Skip Bayless level shit. That's
so
what
for somebody who killed McGregor, all right, the whole build up, you're doing the same thing.
Same
you dumb
shit.
fuck.
Same shit.
Just because you wear a funny hat don't make it any fucking better.
Oh shit.
You were a great fucking fighter, dude. One of the top all time. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But just you're turning into me, old guy. Get out of my cage. Shut the either get the fuck back in there and shut up. You didn't see GSP running his fucking mouth when he retired. He didn't talk for like 3 years.
Yo, man, I'm not going to Vegas tomorrow. I'm not going to Vegas tomorrow.
If you're not going to Vegas tomorrow. So that means there's a part 2 to whatever that is. Going back to chat real quick before we get out of here, because you want an easy way to knock down credit card debt? I got it for you. Stop fucking spending. There you go.
Bang.
Winner. There was another one. I can't scroll up. But, wait, here we go. Yeah, there was another one I wanted to answer. By the way, Mickey Czar is not one of those people that play League 5 nights a week and go, because Mickey has a support system in place that he checks with his fucking wife before he does it, which automatically disqualifies him from being a softball whore. He has interests outside of softball, which was the main fucking point I was trying to make. But way to pay attention. Way to pay attention, audience. Appreciate that.
Hey,
anybody else?
Knowledge.
Honestly, can't wait till I am 35 and 40. Let me warn you now, it's much worse as you get older.
It's the same shit. It's the same
worse.
shit, yo.
It's worse.
Man,
it's worse.
Man, this is
sorry.
I was fooled. Look, I was fooled. Everybody's like, yeah, you go to senior, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, it's all. Everybody's so chill. Nobody's over there whining and bitching. First tournament I go to, bunch of whining and bitching every week. Bunch of whining and bitching. Like, man, make up your goddamn mind. It's not that serious. Why are we doing this? I still love it. It's still fun though. I'm not gonna pump fake. It's like it's insane to me. But yeah, senior is different. It is different than men's. And I have the luxury of going and playing men's fairly often, and going back and playing senior right after that. And yeah, it's a different beast. It's a different situation. I still think I'm just partial to the pacing of a regular men's tournament over senior.
Yeah, but I was going to say this. This is the one thing that's always going to trump seniors. Going to trump kids ball. Okay, and we've both been on those fucking horrible E or D teams, right? Mm-hmm. Where you're out there, and every time I go out for seniors, I can always go. No matter how bad it gets, it's only going to be 5. That trumps being out in the field like fuck. I think that's 12. No, that might be 13, and you literally lose count of how many you're giving up. Right. So. That in alone is always going to be just make seniors just a little more enjoyable, because even on a bad day you get a shot. You only got 5.
Real quick, I do want to kind of go to this point that was asked here. What's your opinion on Challenge Cup not taking 2 teams if we have the players to do so and if fundraising is there? I'm gonna
says?
speak. I don't know who said.
Who says we have 2 teams?
No.
Again, that's an opinion. It's not a fact. Who says we have 2 teams capable of going? Challenge Cup is not just to throw a team together and send them to Florida. Okay, understand something. I'm not just sending anybody to go get us embarrassed. And it's not fair to the original coaches that they get their chance, all right, to put together their teams and go. That's my opinion, and luckily I make the call. So, right or wrong,
I'm gonna offer.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm gonna offer a different point. So, I'm always hesitant when I see, if we have the players to do so, or other people I've heard say if we have the talent to do so. And while I don't necessarily disagree with the idea that we have the talent or we have the players, I guess it comes down to why do we? And more importantly, are we saying that we have the talent to do 2 teams because those players that would be on the second team are assuming or know that they're not playing on the first team? Do we necessarily need a backup team? That's where I start asking that question up front. Is the goal of having the second team to make sure that Arizona places higher or brings home the title? Is that the reason that we're looking to bring 2 teams, or are we bringing 2 teams because we want to make sure that we're on the Challenge Cup? Which is the difficulty for me about, and I mean, in and of itself, if it was a thing where the question was asked, hey, if we have 2 teams, should we do 2 teams? I'm going to say, yeah, do 2 teams, right? But I'm going to say do 2 teams before people start getting picked and before people start feeling slighted because they weren't picked. Because then it feels like you're making an adjustment, or you want everyone to make an adjustment because you didn't get on. The other thing, and I'm not saying the person who wrote this message, because I'm not sure who that is. I'm saying hypothetically. All cards on the table. I'm kind of on both sides of the fence. Meaning, if this was the conversation had in December about the upcoming Challenge Cup, I mean the December before, December 21, let's say that. If it was then and say, hey, we should do 2 teams because we want to place and we want to make sure that Arizona is represented all the way across the board the way some of these other states do, then I'm on board at that point, right? Because I want Arizona to win. And if that's going to put us in the best position to win, cool. My problem is most of the 2-team talk started once coaches were picked and all of the assumptions of who made the team, and in some cases, some of the people who made the team or didn't make the team, were then what started to inform all of the we need 2 teams. I don't want to do shit just to do shit. And yes, it sucks that you have one person, not you, the coach, making whatever decisions of who they want to add, or 1 person, 2 people, whatever committee they use to add those players. Yeah, I know that's disappointing. And yeah, I know a lot of people who are frustrated by the fact that they maybe weren't chosen or weren't, on the short list or something like that. But I don't think you change the entire setup based on that. And then I also will say, and I'm glad someone else beat me to it because I was about to jump in there. I do see a lot of people upset about not being on the Challenge Cup team, even though the team's not even completely picked. I don't understand that.
I was just going to say,
understand that at all.
If you had a shot, which you probably did,
you don't anymore.
You may have just ruined it.
Right.
Because listen, I know for a fact the people that I picked to coach these teams, all right, chemistry matters. Yeah. All right, appearances matter. Your mouth fucking matters.
Right.
So if you're going to pop off at the perceived slight, not the proven one, the perceived slight that you weren't picked, do you really think you go and say, oh, sorry, I thought... No. You shouldn't have popped the fuck off. Because now the coach goes, so they're going to pop off about that. What if I got to sit them? What if they can't bat in the usual place they are in the lineup? How are they going to disrupt my team in Florida? You got to take a bunch of egos as it is and put them together in a short amount of time to play together as a team in one weekend.
Right. Totally.
Little things like that completely matter.
I am still with it.
And I'm not talking about any one person. I'm speaking in general. The little things matter.
I still am with the proster who said, I'm kind of on both sides of the fence. I totally can see the benefit of 2 teams. There are other states, obviously, that put in 2 teams or multiple teams. I know Arizona did at one point in the ends or whatever, but
that didn't go well.
Well, and I guess that's the other part to it, right? Because there's only 1 all-star team. There's not 3. There's not 2. There's 1. And the reason you have 1 is because you basically want to pick who you believe, and you being the coach or the decision-making group, you believe will put the best players on the field and in the lineup together. And that's the gamble. is you're as a decision maker. This is one of the things sometimes where it makes you wonder about some of the people who make these comments or make those positions or have those statements. You go, have you ever led anything? Have you ever been a leader about anything? Have you ever done that? If you've done that, then you know part of being a leader is that 50% of the decisions you make will be wrong. And what I mean by wrong is 50% of what you say, whether you say yes or whether you say no, 50% of the people perceiving it will hate it. 50% of the people will love it. And all of them are wrong. Because the only person's answer that matters is yours. And your reasoning as the leader, your reasoning is your own. And whether you choose to be transparent about that reasoning is up to you. But nonetheless, the reasoning is still yours. And that doesn't change anything.
Maybe I'm old. Maybe this is another, old guy or old school thing. I remember when I was 12, 13, 14 playing baseball, right? I was pretty good. And all I wanted to do was make the All-Star team and have a shot to go to Williamsport. Because, it was Southern New Jersey where I was playing.
Right.
That's all I wanted. I didn't make it as a 13-year-old. And, it could have been politics. Who the hell knows? I don't know. My dad and the coach didn't get along. To this day, I don't know. But I remember saying, well, you know what? Next year, I'm going to make it so they can't fucking leave me off.
Right.
Fuck you. I'll hit more home runs. I'll batting average or whatever the fuck I got to do. I'm going to do it. I remember being so mad and so determined to give the biggest fuck you, or what I thought at 14 was the biggest fuck you to the guys who picked that year, the next year. And I remember working and putting in the work and tell my dad, let's go. Let's go hit or let's throw or whatever it was, There was one All-Star team. And if you didn't make it, you either worked really hard.
Yeah.
You didn't sit around and sit on the couch and say how screwed up it was and buddy ball. And no, that wasn't even a thought back then, So either there's been this big shift about, well, if I don't make it, I'll just bitch enough to where it looks like I should have. No, work harder. Work harder. At the end of the day, you cut through all the bullshit. Most of the problems and the drama in softball and sports in general can be broken down into that very simple statement. Most, not all, but most. Get better. It's on you. Yep. It's not on the people around you. It's not on the guys you play with. It's on you. Either you're going to put the time in or you're not. Period.
I was at a men's tournament this weekend, and I was sitting waiting between games, and I overheard a conversation. The two guys were sitting next to me, or like 3 or 4 guys who were sitting next to me, and they were talking, and the one guy's talking. He's like, yeah, no one really notices what I do. I'm playing. I think I'm playing well. And the one guy says, yeah, dude, you're hitting the shit out of the ball. You're a hell of a defender. Blah blah blah. He's like, but you know what the problem is? And the other guy's like, what's up? He's like, no one knows who you are. No one knows why you're there. No one knows. You go out, you play, and you leave. And then in the same breath, I kind of thought it was interesting because we all acknowledge that you have to network. You have to shake some hands. You have to, I don't want to say kiss some babies, but usually the phrase is shake some hands, kiss some babies. You got to do the networking part. Yeah, because it's unfair to believe that anyone has seen every player at a level or enough of a level to automatically be able to rank them accordingly. We all like to pretend that quote unquote buddy ball and it's only friends and all that, but it isn't always friends or buddies. Sometimes it really is just that this person exists and you know what they do and you know what they're capable of. Some of it is this guy's on a team like SBOP or where they're consistently in the last few games of a tournament. They're consistently there around playing more games than the team that leaves in 2 games. Those things matter, and it's unfortunate that that's the way it is, but there's no other way for these coaches. There's no way for these coaches to see everyone at the level that we would like. And what it sucks also is, what happens if that coach happened to see you on that tournament where you shit the bed and drop 3 balls like I did?
0 for 4.
Right, or you have a rough one. Yeah, don't even talk about that. Yeah, I fucked that up. But I still, but that's exactly my point. I mean, it's easy to pretend that everyone is seeing what you're doing. And it's also reality that everyone isn't. And the only thing you can continue to do is to work on your craft, work on yourself, continue to do the things you need to. And maybe you do need to just step out and shake some hands and jump in some BPs or whatever the fuck. And then you start getting people to notice who you are and notice what you're doing. And then that way your talent isn't going unseen. It also helps, and I know everyone hates this because everyone likes to jump on the loyalty and all that bullshit, but it helps to be on a good team, to be noticed, to be to be recognized, because that team's going to play more. They're going to be playing, you know, in a tournament where, you know, let's say it's a 3-game guarantee and your team goes 2 and out. And I say 2 and out, I mean, you lose the worst one, you lose the next one, you lose the other one. You only played 3 games, but you have a team who goes, you know, maybe loses the first game and then runs the table. Well, they've played 6 or 7 games that week. Or they, you know, the team that's running, you know, doing what they're supposed to, they're winning. They're playing 5 or 6 games that weekend. And if you're doing that consistently, you're getting more looks than the guy who's playing 3 or the guy who's playing 2 games and out or something like that. I don't know, dude. I will say, let's close this up because we attempted an open season. I think this show was interesting. I think we had some good conversation. It seemed like people were interested in it and enjoying it, and we appreciate you guys sticking around and watching and listening to the show. We hope you'll join us next week for that super duper senior episode 40.
Where everyone claims to be a major player but gets upset when
they get the
they're
bump.
gonna get bumped to actual major.
Yeah, you know.
You know, maybe we'll do that. Yeah. Maybe I'll announce fucking bumps
bump.
or reclasses. Like, I'll make a couple for next week.
The big bump.
So, let's see if people tune in then. Where I'm like, you know what? We're doing bumps and drops next show.
Sir.
So maybe next week. I can do it. I already checked. I am allowed to do that.
Hey.
So
all right,
we'll
Charles,
see. We'll see what kind of mood I'm in next week. You might get bumped. Get ready.
Yes, sir. Peace.